Mystical here, and I'm back with another commentary. This time it's a little bit different than any of the others I've done before, where it's usually just a bunch of gameplay in the background and I talk about whatever general topic I was thinking about talking about. This one is an actual behind the scenes for the channel itself in a way. Some people have been wanting to know how I basically get the amount of gameplay I do up on the channel / how I make it, and so I figured I'd do this video and the whole process. I do want to preface by saying this might be a pretty boring video to some people, so feel free to skip it. It's literally just for people who are, subscribed to the channel that might be interested in how I do the things I do. It is also in no way a tutorial, as you'll soon find out. This is just my own personal way of how I track and process my own gameplay and data to get it onto the channel, and I found it a rather automated / fast way and streamlined way after doing this for years, because for those that don't know, I've been actively uploading on the channel since 2011, and before then I was capturing gameplay, but I wasn't uploading anywhere. I was doing live streaming back in the days of Justin TV, right before Twitch came. But 2011 and onward, I've been, I guess if you want to call it, perfecting this process. So it's been 8+ years now. And things have changed a little bit since then, but, as these past years or so, I've definitely improved what I had already built upon. It's just how I do things. So I want to say, if you're someone that's making your own channel or you were thinking about it, you can literally just, get a capture card, capture your gameplay, hit the upload button on YouTube and type in some stuff and call it a day. That's as simple as it can get. For me personally, I like to track the data because I upload so much gameplay. People have come to the channel and thought it was 10 or 20 different people, that were uploading gameplay, because there's such a wide variety of games I upload, and it's so often. And how do I not get burnt out? Or, are you playing all the time and stuff? And the answer is actually it's just been me the whole time. It's my own channel, and I actually don't play that often. It may surprise you, but this will hopefully show you what I mean once you see how it all works out. So I'm going to try my very best to make this not a super long video, but at the same time I will admit some of this may be a little technical, because some of the things I do is definitely not conventional, but for me personally, it's easy since I set it up myself and everything. So there's basically 4 parts to it. There's the first part, which is the gameplay capturing. That's the simplest part. The next is the processing or the planning part, where I basically plan out what's going to be uploaded on the channel when and how much of it. And then the third part is processing, which is actually editing the video / rendering it. And then the last part is, uploading and scheduling the video to go live. So guess we'll jump into it right away. So the first part is obviously capturing, and all my videos since I think I've started, I've always put in the description, which most people don't seem to read because they still ask me, what are you capturing? I now use an Elgato HD 60. This is the software. You can't actually see the hardware, but it's actively recording what I'm doing now. But I have the preview hidden because it just do all that crazy Inception stuff. But it's just an Elgato that I use. It's the HD 60 version, not the S. I think that's the latest. Maybe I'll get that one day because it's a little more responsive with USB 3.0. But I've just been using the HD 60. Before then, obviously, that didn't exist. I was using the Elgato HD, which is great. And then before then, very early on in the channel, from 2011, 2012-ish, early 2012, so only the first year and a half, I was using an HD PVR. And then before then, before the channel existed, I actually have another channel, which it's buried somewhere, which I haven't uploaded in years. I used the Dazzle or whatever. This is before capture cards were really mainstream, and they're expensive and hard. So it was very, very low quality. You were talking like 480p, and it was very hard to hook up all the wires using component cables and composite cables, and trying to be able to record while you were playing the game in the same quality was really rough, But that's where it all started, with YouTube recording stuff. That was back when, Halo 3, 2007, 2009 period, man, I wish I had a capture card back then. And that's one of the reasons I like recording all my gameplays, because I can basically go back in time, especially games that you can't play online. I can just go back to that playlist. Some of those I do with like Crysis 2 and Homefront. I might make a video about those, about multiplayer games that are dead I wish I could play, but I can go back and watch those games, which there's no way to play them online with players anymore. So in a way, it's recording history in my own sense. But anyways, this is the Elgato. Basically, for me, I put the video title, I actually put the date, so I'll change it. It's the fourth month of the year, April, just short, and then the day, and then the game. And this is not a game, so I just behind the scenes BTS. But if it's like Halo, I type in Halo or Black Ops 4 or whatever, for settings. This is what I use, and I found that looked perfectly fine in the channel. Let's see here. Oh, I can't change it because I'm recording, but I have it a couple notches above good and just below better. The quality seems totally fine. And if going higher, it just makes the bit rate so much higher and just wasting hard drive space. And so this is the good medium I found it on. And then obviously when I'm finished capturing gameplay, whatever I play, so like this Friday I played Halo, a Master Chief Collection with friends. Then whenever I get around to it, I go to the edit tab and then I'll export, I highlight them in batches or whatever. So like all this was done in a single night that we played. It's just it's the raw match from when I hit the start time, all the way to the end when I hit the stop. And this is actually the new Master Chief Collection with the latest update. So you guys won't see this on the channel for a while, and you'll see why. But anyways, when I need to export the videos, sometimes they sit in here, as you can see, until I actually need to export them, if I need to. And then I export them, and then I have the raw gameplay. So that's basically part one. That's how I get the gameplay. I use an Elgato, and I just play whatever game it is, and when I get a certain amount of the gameplay, I'll export it, and then I'll process it. So, part two, I have a lot of gameplay from all sorts of games. Call of Duty, Halo, sometimes random gameplay that I don't play very often. You got your Battlefield. Sometimes it's a single-player game, even though I don't upload those very much on the channel. I have everything organized in folders, and I made my own folders, which I'm going to double click here. I use this program called Windows Fences, which you can create your own fence, and I can create a portal to a folder directory, or I can just create like a shortcut folder. And that's what all these are. These are just my own game folders. I made all the icons myself. These are the quote-unquote active games that I have gameplay that I've at least played recently or have pending, and I put all the stuff in there. So if I just go into it, we can go to like Halo 3 and like 2017. I have some leftover like footage of like commentary or something. But if we go to what I'm actively on, let's see here. Yeah. So I'm currently in September gameplay in terms of what. So you can see it. This is like the queue of stuff. I'm still in 2018. I haven't actually processed these into this directory because this hard drive I don't want to get too full. So I'm currently on like September stuff, but just like in the Elgato, it's recorded, and here's the match. It's all the raw footage in its chronological, I'm just using VLC to preview it here. It's in the chronological order of when it was recorded, basically, and that's when it gets uploaded on the channel. But yeah, it's all the different games. I've got all the Halos here, some Call of Duties. Certain times I don't have any gameplay, and so I'm using multi-monitor, so on my left screen I have all these other games in these other folders. These are the ones not currently active, so you can see I've made a ton of folders, and I've just created all the icons for them. So when it's this big inactive, actually, it's just the subfolders. And then I put all the ones that I'm not using currently, but these are just a lot of the ones that I have. But anyways, so this is just the containers, essentially, for where I keep all the gameplay. And as you guys have known, like I've said, Black Ops 3 has a ton. I'm still in 2017 of December, and you can see I'm still trying to get through like December gameplay here. So the more of a game I play, obviously the more gameplay there will be, and depending on the rate I upload, it can get way behind, and even with the amount I'm uploading of Black Ops 3, you can see it gets way behind. Like, this is all of 2018. I haven't even started, and that's all in this folder here, in this drive render. I have a second that I bought, I think is an 8 terabyte drive. This is overflow. And so I've still got gameplay of 2018 that I haven't even copied over into here yet because I'm so backed up. So when I tell people, yeah, it's going to be a while till you see that Halo match we played together, for example, that's what I'm trying to say. Halo is also behind. You can see I haven't even put these in organized folders. This is like the output from the Elgato that I haven't even outputted yet. And then I have folders in here of like, oh, here's Halo 1, of just all this other stuff from like this year, I think. Let's see here. Yeah, 2019. And that's before I've even put it into these neat folders here, which these are the ones that are the closest to getting on the channel. And you're probably like, man, that's a lot of gameplay. And like I said, in a single night of just playing with some friends, I got like 28 matches here just in a couple hours. Like, it piles up without... And I only play Halo Master Chief Collection once every other Friday. So technically, I only play Master Chief Collection 2 Fridays every month. Sometimes I may play a game or two by myself during the weekday because I feel like it, but for the most part, that's just how fast it piles up. And in a way it piles up like that is because I play a variety of games, and I may only play 6 matches of like Titanfall 2, for example, in a month. And that takes up a day of a month. There's only like 30 to 28 days or 31 days, in a month. So you can see how each game kind of takes a slot up, and some games take multiple, like Black Ops 3 and Halo. Anyways, so I don't want to go off a tangent. But anyway, so this is where all the gameplay resides, and that's how you can see how it just piles up. Especially if I like a game a lot and I play it a lot, or it's a new game and I play it like every other day in a week. You can see how the numbers stack up. So the thing is I have to plan out on the YouTube channel when things get uploaded. So I use this free program called OpenOffice, which is it's literally just a knockoff of Excel from Windows, but it's a free open source thing. So why use Windows Excel or Office programs I have to pay for when I can use a free thing, which is still XSL based for sheets. So I basically have a directory here, which I keep a directory of all the games, just the games that I've currently been uploading. I add to it too, as if a new game comes, like later this year, I might put something here, Modern Warfare 4 or whatever, that game comes out, I add it and I update all this other crap, but you get the idea, and I just color code it because it's easier. But this is just where I keep a directory of the of all the games that I've uploaded or that will be uploaded, planned, and it's just a kind of a data thing, and then it has a date which I change later. But then I open a new sheet, and this is a completed sheet where I literally am just copy pasting in a order of an entire month's worth. So I plan out a month, and you can see like, oh, okay, I had Black Ops 3 here, whatever, and 4, and Titanfall, and Master Chief, and then I plan out, through the dates, when these should be scheduled to not upload but be published. So I try to do a Master Chief collection once every month, and stuff like that, and then I type out all the dates, and then I have this sheet completed basically. And then when I'm finished, I go and I save it as, and for those that are wondering why my Explorer is black, I use Windows Dark Mode, which is super awesome. That's one good thing about Windows 10, I guess, is they finally made a dark mode. I save it as a CSV, and the reason I do that is in this processing part. This is where it's going to get a little crazy. You guys might think, man, you're insane, but I bought my own self a personal license of Jira, which is a tracking software program. and I host the server locally on my computer, so I don't need internet or anything. But I built the server, technically the hosting database on my computer, so I don't need to worry about internet it literally was $10 to buy the license, so it's nothing expensive. I basically go to Jira, which you view it in a browser, but it's all on my computer. It's this tracking software, which is basically a work item thing. People use it for like software bug tracking or work items of projects they need to do, and I do that too for some of my modding. But this section is just for renders. Anyways, from that CSV that I saved, I go into here and I would go import issues from CSV. And you'll see why I do this later. I'm not going to go through the whole process, but I would find the file, I'd click it, I'd set up all the parameters, blah, 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 and then I'd basically import it. And when it imports all of these as individual work items. These are all, you can see the game names, obviously. So let's go Master Chief Collection. It's a work item, it has a number, and as I make more, I can obviously create them. So if I wanted to make a render, I could type it all out, but doing a CSV, a sheet where it automates it for me, it takes like 5 seconds. I mean, literally, I copy paste in order beside a date when I want it to show up, and then it does it for me. It just makes the work item for me. And you're probably wondering, why not just mark it off in the Excel sheet when you've uploaded it? And like, oh, I could, but this isn't really malleable and versatile. It's not really easy to track, I suppose, over long term, and I kind of like to do that. But so you can see this is a completed work item, Master Chief Collection. It just has all that stuff, and I do this thing where I set up sprints, which is a weekly schedule for me to know what I need to have rendered and when it needs to be uploaded to the channel, basically. And so let me see what I should show first. Yeah, I'll show so there's the backlog tab here. I'm not going to go over the complications of Jira, but basically I create per month the sprint weeks. So I'm in week 2 of April, obviously, and these are all the things I need to render basically this week, and I've kind of gotten ahead, so it's not too much to show. So if I go here, and you can see I've completed, and then in progress, and then not started, basically, which is only Black Ops 3 left over. But basically, it breaks it down per week, and it's literally the same. It's still, I can open up the work item just to see, but you can see if I drag it over, it would change. I don't want to actually do it. I don't know if I can go back. Let's find out. But if I go in here, it says it's rendering. That means I'm currently rendering it, so I can just keep track. I'm going to bring it back. Oh, I can't. Crap. Well, let me see if I can just go through the process. So anyways, I go rendered. When it's completed, I type out whatever if I needed to and then upload it. But I'm going to go. Can I go back? I don't know if I can go back. No, I guess I put myself in a hole there. But anyways, I'll fix it later. Anyways, it keeps track of it, and it's just a way to break down per week what I'm doing, essentially, which I like that type of stuff. It's all real time, and when it's being done, I have a calendar. Let me find it, which I'll refresh it here, and then it shows per week. Oh, these are all the work items again. They're just broken down in the calendar week. So you can see here's the one that I just did rendered. So it's literally the same work item. It just all links to the same place. But this is why I do it, because basically this turns into this. That's the simplest way I can put it, and I've set it up to do that. Like I said, it would take forever, and it probably seems very complicated, but I've made it very automated where it actually doesn't take me very long to do this, but it's all real time too, where I'm like, oh crap, I'm not ready to have this game, or you know what, I want to upload this on this day. I can just switch them. And then, if I go into the work item, it actually has updated when it's due, which is what sets it up on the calendar, but we're going to put those back because that's when I want those uploaded. But anyways, so you can kind of see that is basically what this whole process here. This is basically the way how I know what needs to be uploaded when, and I don't really have to think about it. I plan it. It literally takes me like 15 to maybe 30 minutes one night a month to set up the calendar for a month, and I could set up more if I want. I could just keep copy pasting, but I do it per month because, you know, I'm like, I know I have a lot of Halo, I know I have a lot of Black Ops 3, you know, I'd like to do some Titanfall. Spoiler alert, I haven't uploaded Killzone Shadowfall in a while, but it's coming back. So, you know, I kind of go back to some games I haven't uploaded in a while and put them in from time to time. And that's basically what this part is. So the next part now obviously is, okay, say I'm in the next sprint where I'm in next week where, let me go back, where I've got a whole bunch of new ones. I'm like, okay, I've got Halo Master Chief Collection coming on the 17th of Wednesday, so I need to render that. So step 3 is obviously the processing, which is processing the gameplay. So I use Davinci Resolve, which is a video editing program. You may not have heard of it, but I looked extensively into video editing software. In the past, I used to use After Effects, which was not conventional to render. It worked okay because it could batch render videos, but you know, I could do motion graphics within it too, so it was easy. But that's what I did for a very long time. It wasn't the fastest, but it worked. And then I switched over to Premiere Pro, Adobe, which is obviously a video editor, and that worked really well. But I wanted to get away from having to pay for subscription-based stuff, so then I used Davinci Pro, or Davinci Resolve, which is, they have a pro version or they have a free version. So, and even the free version, you buy it once and you don't have to do a subscription. And I think there's only a couple differences between the free and the pro, but anyways, this is what it looks like. And essentially, say I have Halo to upload, I'd go into import media, and then this is Titanfall, but I'd go to the folder. As you can see, here's the portal again of all the gameplay, and we'll just randomly pick, oh yeah, I don't have these in here yet. We'll just go to September. Say I always start from the, you know, whatever's left, you know, at the oldest, you know, I go from oldest to newest, and I'm currently in September. The only reason these folders exist is they have a commentary folder, which is gameplay I'd use for like a commentary video, but other than that, I delete this entire folder when I'm finished. But anyways, I would go to the newest, and then I would import, and as you guys know, I usually upload like 6. I'm only going to do 1 now, but I would usually, you know, do like the oldest 6, and you know, when those are uploaded, then they get deleted in the folder, and I go down the list, and when September's done, I go to October, and so on and so forth. But you can see how that's why it takes so long to get some of the gameplay. But we'll just go here. It imports it. I've made timelines, and it's just a timeline basically. I'm not going to go into a tutorial of how to do Davinci Resolve. You can look that up. Anyway, so I have the first timeline. I just put the video here, and then, you know, this is the start. And I have what I like to call a 5-second rule. Sometimes I start the recording pretty early with the load screen. Sometimes the load screen goes for like 30 or 40 seconds, especially like Battlefield. So I always make sure that the load screen goes no longer than like 5 seconds here. So say it did, I would cut it down, and it just makes it so the user knows what map I'll be playing on, or game mode or whatever, depending on the game. And then the match starts, you know, it goes through. Let me zoom this out. And then I make sure it gets to the actual end. So you can see here, I would actually have to edit this crap out because it's starting another match because I forgot to cut it off. But, you know, I always get to here, blah, blah, blah. Is the scoreboard good? Yes. And then I get to here, and then I would, like, you know, cut it off here. Let me put snapping back on. And then that would be the in and out time. And then because this is Halo, I have a little special thing, as you guys notice. So I get to the beginning, and then I have my little tag thing right here, you can see. And so I set these markers up. Whoops, don't want that to go over there. And then, you know, okay, I'm like 4 minutes into the match, we'll have it show up again. Sometimes if it's short, I'll get rid of it, you know, move it over here, stuff like that. And then I have these turned off, and I just have Halo 3 for the motion, my little logo, which for some of you guys that probably have been paying attention, I have different looking ones for certain games. But yeah, that's basically how I put the video. I set up timelines, and so I have like second timeline, third, fourth, fifth, all of them. And then I have like a master timeline, which I would then go in here, and you can see the timelines. I'd highlight all these, I'd drag them in here, and depending on the length, they'd all be in a row. And then I'd go to this Deliver tab, and then I would choose my own custom settings, which is 1080p for this, and then I'd do individual clips, the source name, blah, 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 and then I hit Add to Render Queue. And I've already rendered out in the past, so this still exists. But then there would be here, and I hit Start Render, and it renders pretty fast because I have a pretty decent computer, and Davinci Resolve is really fast. But that's basically what it is. I set up multiple render sets of different games. It doesn't take very long because I've already pre-set up the timelines, and when I'm finished and it's uploaded, I go in, delete, and I clear it out. And so then it's ready for, the next set of new gameplay. But anyways, when it's all finished rendering, I then go to my little thing here. I have a folder portal set up here, and I have multiplayer. So this is all the stuff that I've exported from Davinci Resolve. So you can see like some Halo 3 gameplay. I think that was actually the match that I just showed you, that this is the edited, so it has all my stuff in it, obviously. So I'll just fast forward. You can see I got my logo and everything, and I just make sure that I spot check it, that it actually looks okay and has audio, did it get to the end of the video correctly? It's not going to be a black screen or something, but that's basically it. I have like this batch of Halo gameplay, for example, that I would upload, or Call of Duty Ghosts, which is actually technically uploaded by the time I upload this behind the scenes. So then the last step is then going to uploading it. So then I would click upload, and I'd choose them all. I wait for them to finish uploading, and I'm using YouTube Dark Theme, of course, Dark Theme. I like Dark Theme. And then I go to my actual YouTube channel itself, and you can see I've got the Call of Duty Ghosts. Let me look at the time. This is actually probably, if I refresh here. Come on, internet, you can do it. There we go. Yeah, these have been published, and somebody already liked the video. Contrary to belief, I don't actually like any of my own videos. You can see, I bet if I hit a like, does it change color? Whoops. I hit the wrong button, did I? Nope, I guess it just, I don't know what it is. I don't actually like my own videos, though. These are all other people liking or disliking. But yeah, can I even try and go to a video? I don't think it shows. Yeah, but if you like it, it shows a blue bar. I don't like my own videos. I could. There's nothing wrong with it, but I don't want to have stats that I can't tell because I'm liking my own stuff. But anyways, so like Call of Duty Ghosts, this match was basically this one. And if you're probably wondering how I got the name tags, before I upload and I give them a name, and this is another set of craziness, I have a OneNote, which is a program which I type out everything. So like Call of Duty Ghosts, I have sections here, and I just have tags where I update the numbers, obviously. It's for me to keep track of like how much have I uploaded of this. I'm like at 750 on Call of Duty Ghost Squad. And then I put those in the order, or like, Halo, here's Halo, which you guys are probably most interested. Master Chief Collection, you can see Halo CE 2, Anniversary, Halo 3, Halo 4, and I've got all the different game types. Basically, I split them up, and then these numbers just go up depending on, when I have a match of that type. So like Halo Team Slayer, 793, that's just there, or 92, yeah, 92. And then it just gives me a direction, so then when it's on the before I actually process the real name, you can see I know this is territories, and it's the 5th time in Halo 2 Anniversary that I've uploaded this type. It's just for me to keep track. No one actually sees these raw file names. It's just so it has a unique file name, so if I need to find it later or whatnot, I can just get an idea, okay, this is going to be a Capture the Flag game. And the reason why I do that is then, let's go to this one. So this hasn't been uploaded yet. So I know I've already typed in all the stuff. So actually, let me go to like Halo. Let's do Halo 3, the same one. So here's that Team Slayer on Last Resort. Probably won't go with that picture. It looks kind of silly. Maybe I might go with that. But if the thumbnail is really terrible, I'll upload a custom, but I rarely do that. But anyway, so I know this is like a Team Slayer or whatever. So, I'd go here and be like, okay, now I know it's Team Slayer on Last Resort. And it's with a big team because I can tell right away because there's, it's almost 8 versus 8. And so then I know this is going to be titled, Halo 3 Big Team Battle Slayer on Last Resort. And so I have in here every single game that I currently uploaded, and I have tabs for every like PlayStation, Nintendo Switch, blah, blah, blah. This is the Xbox One. I have a subset. And then in here, I keep tags of everything. So then I would go to like Halo 3 Team Slayer. And then I have each game mode. If they don't exist, I make it, obviously. And then I would find like Last Resort, which who knows if I actually have it here. Maybe if I don't, then I would add it. But yeah, Big Team Battle Slayer. So then I have the title, and I would put that here. And then, whoops. And then I would have the description info, Davinci Resolve, blah, 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 the game mode just in there. And I just copy paste that in there. And then for tags, I have some general ones. But in the overall root here, I keep tags for that game. And then I just literally copy paste that there. And then I would go here. And then I would find the game Halo 3 for the playlist, because I obviously create the playlists. And then I would schedule it. So I can do this a day in advance, a week in advance. This is why it's not very hard, and I'm not there like hitting publish. I don't do that. I set it up. I choose the day, I choose the time, and then I hit publish and whatever. I'm not actually going to save that now. And that's why they like these Call of Duty Ghost ones that haven't fired off yet. These are just ready to go. I usually try to get a day or two in advance uploaded so it's ready to go. And so, I'm not really having to do that much work. It may seem like it, but I've got everything typed out and organized all the way to the processing of that and the scheduling. And yes, it does take some skill. I had to set up an entire database of Jira. You can look into Jira. I have this structure plugin so you can see like a breakdown even here of like here's renders for 2019. I've completed January. And then I have these epics, which are basically collections of per week of all the renders, and these are all completed with check marks, obviously, because January is over. But you can see I've got like a whole month's worth here. And this was just the order of when they got uploaded. And we're currently in April right now, so you can see like week 2, and then these haven't even been started. That's why they're blank, or week 3 or whatever. But so I've set up an easy way to know what I need to upload, when I need to upload, and stuff like that. And then if I don't have gameplay because I don't feel like playing it or whatever, I can always go in here. I can swap them around. I've even had times like, I never got around to Gears of War 3. I wanted to play some, but I never got around. I can just go in and retype. I'm not going to actually do it because everything I change here, it updates automatically, but I can retype the whole thing. I have it very streamlined and automated, doing things like importing with CSV files and crap. And then the very, very last thing is before I delete the gameplay, so say, we'll go back. We've got like that Last Resort match. I've completed uploading. It's been published. People like it or hate it, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I don't need the gameplay on my computer anymore. I have external hard drives where I copy all this and then I delete it. And then it's off my computer permanently, but I always have a backup locally. And I have terabytes and literally terabytes of gameplay over the year. You're probably like, man, that's a lot of money. And actually not. For like $150, you can get like an 8 terabyte drive, and that lasts like years, Not very expensive these days. Very, very cheap. And I usually only have to buy like one of those maybe once every other year, if that. And even then, sometimes I can consolidate certain stuff. And because technology's gotten so much better, quality of the gameplay has gotten higher, but like Elgato can record it in such good compression. It takes a long time to fill up that stuff, but I like to have it backed up in case I need the gameplay again. And because I don't trust YouTube to, even though I've had my channel for years, one day I could come on and I could have a false copyright strike for something that's totally not true. They just want to somebody falsely copyright striked, or YouTube goes under because something stupid like Article 13 in Europe takes over and YouTube can't function anymore because they can't pay for servers because they had to block half the world, and they can't make any more money, and my YouTube channel doesn't exist anymore or something. I will always have all my gameplay. Unfortunately, you guys wouldn't have the channel anymore, but I do not use YouTube as a backup in no way, shape, or form, and the quality sucks when it gets uploaded. It degrades it even more. But it's here for you guys to watch, and so that's kind of the overview. I can't believe I did it in like 30 minutes. Like I said, it could get very, very complicated. Like Jira alone, setting it up, I made all the own icons, and I have it set up to do this the way I want it because that's how I designed it. But other people in professional scenes use Jira for video game tracking of bugs and work tasks and all sorts of other crap. This is a very powerful program, but I bought a license for $10 per minute, and I built a database on my computer, and it just runs in my browser. Don't need internet or anything. It's very lightweight. And, like I said at the very beginning, you can literally just use an Elgato or whatever capture card you like from your computer, like OBS or whatever, and just hit the upload button, type in a bunch of crap. Whoops, that's actually going in the video. Type in your crap, and then just go publish and call it a day. You don't need to do any of this other stuff. I do it because I like to have that organization and the magnitude of gameplay I have. I like to keep track of what's next and where I've got the gameplay, so I know. And then obviously, I forgot, I have like a file copy section even. And I made all these, I do graphic stuff in 3D modeling, so I can go that extra step of making cool graphics and stuff, and so that kind of gives me that extra ability to organize. But I like to have all this background, and it's not for you guys, it's just for me. And like I said, it seems like a lot of work, but it's so easy. It's hard to explain. It probably looks super complicated, but that's how I do it. And I literally can get the gameplay, I process it, and then I go watch some Netflix or something or whatever while it's rendering or uploading. It's very easy. It makes it so I don't have to think. That's the best way to describe it. I hope you guys found this useful. Some people may not have. If you're more interested in tools or things, how I did them, feel free to ask. But, the overview, Davinci Resolve, free. You can get it. Elgato, the software is free, but you have to buy the capture card, obviously, so that's free. OpenOffice is free. You can get a personal Jira license, which I don't think anybody would. I'm only a crazy person. I use it a lot because I do modding for games and 3D modeling, and I have very complex projects, which I'm not going to show you guys that. That's just opening a can of worms. I have another database I set up of the same thing where I do modding and stuff. But while I'm here, I guess I'll end this thing showing you guys some stuff. Anyways, and you can get like Jira for like $10, but it's all free things and like stuff like that. And this is a 3D paint program, but I have a project I'm currently working on, which I'm making a weapon for Fallout 4, which I have tons of, and this is a work in progress. I'm still not done with it, obviously, but I use Jira because I do things like this, and this takes a lot of work to do. This is just the 3D model part, the painting, and all the detail. And this is a multi-monitor, so I can't, let me scroll over. So I've got like layers and crap and all that, and it's just like that. But yeah, this is the stuff that I really use, like things like Jira and stuff, and that really helps because I can get into the super detail. No, I don't want to save of stuff. And then I've got like a whole workflow process of getting mods out because they can be complicated. I use Blender 2.8 to make my models. That's not the whole gun. Let me actually unhide everything. Blah, blah, blah. Yeah, there we go. So I make everything myself. Crap, what do I have open? Okay, yeah, but I have the mag twice. Let me see, I gotta turn off one of these. I've got 3 actually. There we go. Okay, it was Z fighting. Anyways, this is the stuff that I I really have a passion for. This is where I spend most days after work, because yes, I do have an actual job. Like, I don't spend all day uploading and playing gameplay. Surprisingly, I don't actually play that much. Some days after work I may play a game or two, but as you can see, it's just kind of splitting up all the games per week. It becomes a continual process of matches to upload. That's why. But this is what I really spend my time doing, is doing 3D modeling and 3D painting. This is where my real passion is. And I make custom stuff for games like Fallout 4 and Skyrim, and that's what I enjoy to do. That's my real passion, is 3D art. So this is where I actually spend all my time, which I don't think I've ever shown anybody. And this is an unreleased weapon too. It's going to take me months to get through the whole process. I'm still in the modeling phase, and these are the base attachments. I've got a bunch of other ones to add to it. This is an SMG, by the way. It's fictional, not meant to be based on anything real. But anyways, I'm kind of going off tangent again. I should end this video before I go any farther. Anyways, if you guys want to know anything else about the background of the YouTube stuff, feel free to ask. I hope maybe one of you found it useful. But anyways, I'll probably try and do some other commentaries, about games and stuff in the future. But until then, I'll see you guys later.